In the Ashanti region, the National Peace Council is asking the two major political parties to adhere to electoral rules and regulations for the registration exercise to proceed peacefully. Chairman of the council, the Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, has been speaking with leaders of the governing New Patriotic Party and the opposition National Democratic Congress in the Aswanse constituency on rising tensions during the ongoing compilation of the register. Nana Asensu Mensah has more in this report.
The Peace Council chairman toured some registration centers in the Aswanse constituency, during which he also raised concerns about social distancing breaches. He says a lot of education is needed to ensure registrants conform to social distancing protocols.
I'm sure that the EC should continue to educate people. The new queue management system is good, but whether the people have really understood it is another matter. I think the queue management system is something that will really ensure the social distancing that we are talking about. It's intended to do that. But if you look at the way people, they are maintaining some kind of social distance. You go to some places, you see some form of it. But I think we need to educate people the more to understand that COVID-19 is a reality and that we should be very, 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 very careful about COVID-19,
Professor Asante later admonished the political leaders to exhaust the laid-down electoral rules if they have any concerns, rather than take the law into their own hands.
These things are to be expected. There is no way that you're going to meet political parties like NDC, NPP, and expect that they will all be in agreement. But getting from all of them, apart from the counter-accusations, we realize that all of them want the registration to go on. They want peace to prevail. We've spoken to them that they should try as much as possible to maintain peace, and that if they are not happy with it, they should go by the rules and make their complaints to the appropriate bodies. Once these have been done, we believe that we'll be able to move forward. Nobody should take the laws into their own hands, and there should be no bloodshed whatsoever because of registration and because of the election. After all, what is it that we are seeking to do? We're doing this to elect, people who would represent us to ensure the development of our nation. This is not a matter for us to fight about.
Aswanse has been flagged as a hot spot since the registration began last week. The council is, however, confident meeting with political parties will ensure peace prevails. Representatives of both parties responded to the council's admonition.
But I would advise them that once they have events, they should try and make sure that we follow the due process. Channels of grievances are there. Challenge forms are not there for nothing. They are not there for ornamental purposes. They are not there for any other thing but to challenge in due process. So we should follow those channels for peace to prevail. We want free, fair, and peaceful registration and election in 2020. And I hope, inshallah, we will get there. But the throwing of stones on the fence and trying to create the impression that Aswanse is on fire, there is no peace in Asokore Mampong. I stand here as the chairman of the Security Council, and I'm saying that security is strong, security is very tight. We are not breaking loose. Everything is on course.
Let's provide a fair playing field for everybody to operate. But if you start and you want to suppress our boys, you want to frustrate us, we've done this over and over again. We will not allow it to happen. Not in Aswanse. It can happen in other places, but not Aswanse, because Aswanse, even though you might think that we have a lot of illiteracy, we have a lot of people who are literate, who know the law, who want to follow the law, who want to make sure that the right things are done. It doesn't matter who comes. Even if Nanado becomes the military commander in Aswanse, we would insist on the right thing to be done. If Nanado becomes the district commander, we will insist and we'll force him to do what the law says. So it's not going to be easy for them. We will all get tired. They push, we push. They stop, we stop. So that we can have a successful election registration.
Nana Asensu Mensah reporting.